Coming up on First at 4, a lack of EMTs is causing concern in parts of eastern Kentucky. Plus, the sports world is mourning the loss of a well-known journalist.
And it's been nice to have a break from showers, but the break is brief. Details on a big-time storm system pushing into the region coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Passport Health Plan by Molina Healthcare is hosting a holiday toy drive, and it's for families and children impacted by the July flooding. All of the toys will be distributed by the Care Cottage Child Advocacy Center in Hazard to kids in Perry, Breathitt, Knott, Lee, Leslie, Letcher, Owsley, and Wolfe counties.
From now until December 16th, we are encouraging those who can to donate new toys in the original packaging unwrapped for children up to 14 years old.
If you would like to donate toys, you can drop them off at the One Stop Help Center in Hazard between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. The address is 124 Grandview Plaza in Hazard. The Hampton Inn in Hazard is undergoing renovations, and the hotel is clearing out its old furniture to make way for the new. And it is donating its old furniture to the ARH Flood Relief Distribution Center. This is the second time the hotel has donated to the center. Chris Moeller with ARH tells us it's great furniture, and 15 homes benefited from the hotel's first round of donations.
People are starting to get back into their homes, so it's really nice being able to, they're in a brand new trailer, brand new house, their place got renovated completely, so it's really nice being able to get these things into their house, and that's one less thing that they have to worry about at this point.
The hotel manager tells us hundreds of furniture items have been donated, and today Hazard High School football players volunteered their time to load and unload that furniture.
And here in Hazard, they did it with a little bit of sunshine. Here's a look outside several of our locations right now, starting to see the return of a little bit of sunshine. High cloudiness from London Corbin Airport right now. They're at 49, 45 here in Hazard with, yes, that sunshine working through about an hour and a half, a little less than that before sunset. Pikeville, though, is still socked in with the overcast, and they've only gotten to 41 so far this afternoon. Areas where we've seen the sunshine, we've warmed up nicely, upper 40s to low 50s all throughout the region. That's about where we should be this time of year. We should be about 50 degrees. A little cooler, though, in the Big Sandy, where the clouds have hung on a little tougher, with those temperatures staying in the 40s. Pinpoint Doppler's a clean sweep, but we turn on satellite and radar, move on back out. It's the quiet before the big storm system, if you will, across the eastern third of the country. We're in mostly good shape, but we've got some big-time weather on the way for parts of the deep south a little bit later on this week. For us, all quiet as we run through tonight. 45 within the next hour, falling into the middle and upper 30s as we head through the overnight. Details, though, on when that big storm system works our way, and if we could see some more rain from it, spoiler alert, probably. Details in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. When you find yourself in a medical emergency, you want qualified and trained people there to help you or a loved one receive care quick. But one key is keeping emergency crews staffed. It's something we've been fighting here in the mountains for years. Kelsey Soto shows us a new program working to hire the next generations of EMTs and bridge the great health divide.
Frontline workers and first responders are in high demand across the Commonwealth.
You just can't throw somebody that's rolled a four-wheeler 40 foot over a bank in the back seat of a car and bring them to us. That person needs care on the way here.
Dale Morton is the Executive Director of Emergency and Transfer Services at Pikeville Medical Center. They're the only Level 2 trauma center in the state of Kentucky, covering 26 counties, including parts of West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee. He says EMTs are a lifeline in transporting patients to their ER.
You know, they always talk about the golden hour, which is the first hour after the injury. And, that's the hour that the EMT has them or the paramedic has them in the back of the ambulance most time, getting them to us.
Which is why PMC is using $200,000 in grant money to offer up free training to 36 Eastern Kentucky men and women interested in becoming an EMT. Students include people like Christine Chalikian, who is an athletic trainer at the University of Pikeville and eager to add this skill set to her trauma kit.
There's so many backgrounds in the classroom, which is also great because you get to learn from those other backgrounds. You have dispatchers, you have firefighters, you have CNAs, you have all these people who are trying to better themselves, better the community by learning and being EMTs, so it's a great experience.
It's nearly 400 hours of learning hosted by Pikeville firefighters, and classes are hosted at night and the occasional weekend to accommodate those with busy working schedules. But the knowledge shared is invaluable to overall community health and could even save precious lives. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
The first class of students is well underway in their training, but they are actively recruiting for the next class. The soccer world is mourning the loss of well-known journalist Grant Wahl. The longtime Sports Illustrated writer and CBS Sports contributor died suddenly on Friday while covering the World Cup in Qatar. CBS's Elise Preston takes a look back at his life.
And like many of you, we were distraught when we got the final message this morning that Grant Wahl passed away.
Grant Wahl was not just a soccer reporter, but a tireless advocate for the sport he loved. He was doing what he loved when he died suddenly inside the press box at the World Cup in Qatar.
I was aware of some colleagues suddenly across to my left shouting for medical assistance, and it was obviously that someone was in trouble.
Keir Radnich, a British journalist, says emergency crews treated Wahl for about 20 minutes before taking him to a hospital in Doha, but doctors were unable to save his life. No cause of death has been released, but earlier in the week, the 48-year-old wrote he had been feeling ill and that his body had finally broken down on him. He said he had gone to a medical center and doctors told him he probably had bronchitis.
Everyone's coughing here, like so many journalists have got a crazy cough.
Wahl, one of the most well-known soccer journalists in the U.S., also covered other sports. In 2002, he introduced the world to LeBron James, a teenage basketball player from Akron, Ohio.
And he was always pretty cool to be around. He spent a lot of time in my hometown of Akron, covering me over the course of time before that cover story came out, and it's a tragic loss.
On CBS Mornings, longtime colleague John Wertheim said Wahl will also be remembered for how he lived his life.
This was a prince of a human being, someone with great impact, with great compassion.
Known as a fierce advocate for human rights, Wahl was briefly detained during the World Cup for attempting to enter a stadium wearing a rainbow T-shirt, an act of defiance against Qatar's LGBTQ policies. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Wahl's wife of 21 years, CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder, said in a statement that she's in complete shock, but also thankful for the support of her husband's soccer family and friends. Wahl is not the only journalist that has died while covering the World Cup. A Qatari photographer has also died. Khalid Al-Mislam is a photojournalist for a local sports outlet in Qatar. He died on Saturday. The circumstances of Al-Mislam's death are not clear, but the announcement was made on the same day that a security guard was seriously injured when he fell at the stadium. A judge in New York ordered Rudy Giuliani to pay about $14,000 to his ex-wife after she claimed he owed her hundreds of thousands of dollars. Judith Giuliani sued her ex-husband in August. She claimed the former New York City mayor and former personal attorney to Donald Trump failed to pay her $262,000 as part of their divorce settlement. The judge held Giuliani in civil contempt in September after he failed to appear at a court hearing. The judge says checks indicated Giuliani had previously paid most of what he owed his ex-wife and ordered him to pay her about $14,000. There was no deadline and no additional hearing is set on the matter. Coming up on First at 4, you can pack, you can prepare, you can get to the airport a few hours early, but sometimes what you don't know can cancel your flight.
And the break from the rain continues as temperatures get back above average. The latest on when we see showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms again coming up.